Hey, no countdown tonight. We're just going straight in. We're having just a few technical difficulties over here. Both some internet problems and also some, it's looking like from the little amount of research I had time to do, some Windows 10 problems, which mean that even though she is broadcasting video to me, I cannot capture her video. Similarly, the thing that I have that captures dice rolls won't any window captures that I'm trying to do will not capture. So, um, yeah, gonna be doing without tonight and having to just go with just audio and a little bit of description of what the dice rolls were and everything like that. But we are back to do some more Ironsworn. I am here with. Trust that I'm here with Blinking Firefly. If you could say hello.
Hey.
I'm I'm here with Blinking Firefly. We're here to continue more of our Ironsworn adventures with Flint and Grae. We're just gonna have to be going through our own little personal adventures of technical difficulties. I recently upgraded to Windows 10, and every once in a while, I'm finding little just things like this that just don't quite work quite right. I still need to make some changes to make it all work. This seems to be the latest one of them. I was seeing something about this issue coming up, and it could be related to Windows 10 game mode, which I've turned off. It didn't immediately seem to deal with the problems. Anyway, it's going to require more research, but for now, hey, thank you for that. Gonna require a little bit more effort to get that all working, but we can move in to get this game working. You just won't be able to see any of the die rolls, unfortunately. I'll have to tell you what the results are, which is a shame. I'll try and get it fixed for next time. I didn't think at all that would be. I had no expectation that would come up at all. Didn't even think to check that sort of thing until we were 15 minutes out. I was like, oh shit, there's nothing. But as we usually do, I suppose it's time for just the quick version of the recap of what's going on here, both for the audience and for ourselves. Now, as I recall, when we last left off, we were in the middle of a prison escape attempt. Grae had been imprisoned. You managed to get out of your cell and are now wandering around trying to get. You don't have your stuff. You have kind of an improvised weapon out of a heavy metal rod, and have not so far been noticed by anybody other than what happened at the very end, which was this quick fight as you tried to rescue Chandra, who is in an interrogation room. And due to the complication on that roll, as I think what made this happen, we determined that while you were successful at taking out the guards in that room who were interrogating her, and you've knocked them out, it came with this unfortunate complication of, in this scuffle, Chandra suffered a mortal wound. Now she is not dead yet, but clearly dying, and I think we might as well just jump right back into it and figure out what the hell is going to happen here.
All right.
So I've moved back over. Now, the keen-eyed among you may notice, since we're on Grae's sheet, that we have indeed added a fourth asset for her. She spent her experience points to get Swordmaster. So now, when she uses her sword, she'll actually be a little bit more capable with it. Or rather, specifically, when she deals harm with her sword, it's going to deal a lot of harm. Yeah, when she hits, it's going to hit hard. But she doesn't have the sword right now, and we're in a situation where, unless you're trying to put her out of her misery or something, sword may not be the right approach. So yeah, she's sitting there, probably coughing up blood, or at least holding onto her sides desperately, trying to keep this all in, growing ever colder by the moment. What do you do?
I don't know. If she's mortally wounded, I probably shouldn't try to move her.
Right now, she is, I think, in enough shock that she's incapable of doing much in the way, even really talking at the moment. It's just trying to keep it all together as best possible and accepting, or not accepting, I suppose, what's going on. Um,
Right.
Now, I will say that while we've been describing this as a mortal wound, I'm at least willing to accept the possibility of like keeping her alive. I don't think she has to die. I think it has to be a really bad injury that's going to stick with her like forever. But
Hmm.
I'm okay with the idea of like her being able to be saved if you want to go that route.
Yeah, I do want to try. Yeah, I think I want to try and heal her right then and there, like in a quick kind of first aid attempt while trying to get the hell out of
Yeah.
there. But I maybe just like if it's what kind of wound is it? It's probably like
Um.
some kind of gash or
Yeah. I mean, I've
something.
been picturing it as just this like deep gash that's like go in her core, like just right there in the guts. Um.
All right.
And that it's probably mostly a matter of just she would bleed out really quickly. So like,
Okay.
you
So
know,
I think I would just like rip off a piece of material from whatever I'm wearing, that potato sack that I'm wearing, and just
oh
kind
yeah,
of like shove it right on her wound and
potato sack is gonna get a little bit more skimpy, I guess.
yeah. And I think I do try to get her out of there. Like I know she's mortally wounded. I think I'm feeling kind of a sense of urgency that like maybe someone else might have heard the scuffle.
Yeah. Uh, well, I
So
mean, we did determine so far that like part of the results you've not actually been found out by anybody. Like we at least as players know that. Grays could certainly be worried about that though. That would make sense. Um,
mhm.
but we know you're at least you continue to be stealthy so far. But let's get that heal roll in then because it definitely sounds like that's what you're doing. Now I don't think
Mhm.
this is a situation where herbalists could help you because I think this is far beyond the a thing that herbs really could help with. It's just about stopping bleeding.
I
Um,
do have. I think I have
Unless
an
you have
herb that
maybe you have if you have
stops
like a
bleeding.
stip
I
tick or
probably yeah.
something.
I have something that does slow the bleeding, so I could just
Okay.
like try to add that in there and like
Yeah, okay. If you think that's in there, then we could add your herbalist in.
yeah. But it
Yeah.
always depends on how big the wound
Well, but
is.
here's the question: where are
So.
you getting it from at the moment? Since they took your
Oh,
stuff.
you're right.
Yeah, you don't have
Right.
you have
Yeah.
the sack, and
Potato sack. Yeah.
you're able to keep the necklace, but otherwise, and you have your improvised weapon, but otherwise you don't have anything. So unless you want to like, I could say you could like try and secure an advantage, see if you can like spot something growing between some cobblestones or some stones or something. It's like, wait a minute, that root has these. Like maybe you could do that if you're really lucky. Um,
Hmm. I wonder if my hands have the glowing hand magic. I wonder if that has any healing properties.
we could certainly try and do that as like its own sort of like securing an advantage, like trying to get them to kind of activate more than usual.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't. I'm trying to remember if we tried this once before with my hands, but I'm
I
not
think so.
sure.
I thought I remembered. I think you helped Muko with it. I think.
Did
I can't remember.
I? It
So
was
much
so
has happened.
long.
I've taken no notes during all of this. It's all in my noggin, and clearly not all of it is in there. But
Let me see if
either
I wrote it
way,
down.
okay. So you want to try and use your hands then to see if you can
Yeah.
get them to just give that little bit more oomph. Then yeah, since we don't have any kind of real asset for them, like in as far as the game is concerned, you don't have magic, but in our narrative, you're developing it. So the way I've been kind of making this work is, you know, you can secure an advantage by like, I think this would be with wits of like just giving it all of your mental energy to like make these hands do what you want them to do when it's so out of your control. Like you don't know a lot about doing it yet. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think this is a secure an advantage with wits, and let's see if you can get that advantage to get this bonus to your heal roll. Maybe someday later, when you've really developed the skill in magic, you'll have some other stuff that more directly like just gives you benefits no matter what. But for now, it's like it's always a struggle to make it work.
Right.
Okay, so let's make our first roll of the night. Again, ordinarily you would see them down below, but it is not capturing correctly, so I'll just tell you what the results are.
Okay.
Hey, but starting off with a strong hit. Nicely done. got a good result there, which means you are going to so take control. You've got a choice here. You can either make another move now and add +1, which is probably what you want to do. Just make the healing better. It's kind of what we were talking about. Or you could take 2 momentum if you just want to generally be more prepared. Like your momentum is a little low at the moment, but if the heal specifically is what you really want to work, I'd say probably take that and take the +1 on that.
Okay, yeah. So if I see that it's kind of working, I think I'll just press
Yeah.
forward and.
Yeah, I think maybe they do start to glow that little bit more powerfully. Like it's a little bit brighter. You can or maybe it's just like a warmth that you feel coming into your hands that isn't ordinarily there.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, that kind of encourages me to keep going.
then let's
Try
make
again.
the all
Try some
important
more.
let's make the all important heal. Well, this was just the like activating them. Now is the actual like, will you get the healing done? What's up, Tofu? Doing pretty well. We're just getting started tonight. We're having some technical difficulties, which mean a few things aren't appearing, but otherwise doing pretty well. All right, so heal, I believe, is another, yeah, it's another all-important wits roll. But you get a +1 this time, and
Nice.
your wits are decent. You got a little bit of momentum, though it's low enough that it's probably not going to help you. It's all in the roll, so let's see how that roll does. Now, of course, if we had just done this first, you would have already had a strong hit, but hopefully it'll have similar results. Okay, a weak hit. One of your challenge dice was really high, but that's probably... Let's see what it says about weak hits on heal. All right, you're as above, but you must suffer -1 supply or -1 momentum. Oh, that's not bad. So, so what you'll get out of it is you are helpful. If you or the ally under your care has the wounded condition, you may clear it. I think this is because we described it as such a mortal wound. Like, I think this gets her to the level of it is just wounded as opposed to like she's gonna die. So I'm gonna ignore that part because of the specifics of how we're using this.
Okay.
So she is still wounded, and you're probably gonna have to like carry her out of here. But she gets to have. Well, if she were an actual character and we were tracking her specific health, she'd have +2 health. But you heal her. You get her to the point where she's not going to die. You're just going to have to lose either some supply or some momentum. Your supply is actually pretty high right now.
I don't have my supply.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I guess it would make sense to lose supply because you don't have any on you to lose. So yeah, if we're being...
It's going to have to be momentum.
Yeah, if we're being true to the narrative, it would have to be momentum. So yeah, let's move that ring back down. Let's recall also, you're actually wounded as well. Apparently, yeah, I've got it marked on here. You are currently wounded. I think that happened. I'm trying to remember what scuffle that happened in.
Oh yeah, that was when I was trying to get out of the cell.
I think so. Yeah, you got a little bit hurt there. Now it's not impairing you too much. Mechanically it means that your momentum will reset at a lower value, but yeah, just remember, like, you yourself are... I think we were talking about it was in your hands, right? Like there was like a big cut on one of your hands, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how we described it before. And so it's just kind of interfering with some of your stuff just because...
I think I wrapped some potato sack on there.
Yeah, exactly.
I really am losing this potato sack.
I wonder if maybe the healing activation you just did is kind of like numbing the area at least a little bit. Like makes it a little more tolerable. I mean, you're still gonna have the wounded condition and everything until we like take care of it. But anyway, you've got her stabilized, or so it would seem. This is not a great place for her to stay, obviously, and it's.
I think we just hightail it out of there, like we.
Yeah.
As quickly yet as stealthily as possible, try to get out of there.
So by that, do you mean like leaving all your equipment and stuff behind, or is that still a priority to get that back first? Oh, also, I think that probably counts as another tick on your. I will discover the meaning behind my glowing hands. Let me tick that up a little bit.
Yeah, since I know they can heal a bit.
Exactly. All right, you have got.
I think I do try to find my supplies and the horse. It's probably all in the same area.
Well, the horse they don't have. or at least we've no. The horse was
Yeah, I
just
think
like
we
stabled in
decided.
town, as I recall. You
Oh,
don't have the
okay.
horse because it's not in prison with you, but like they haven't like confiscated your horse. They just took off like your supplies. They've taken off of you because they were stripping you down when you got in here. The horse is just in a stable
Oh.
somewhere. You can,
I thought they would have had the stables just to like transport people.
but you weren't on a horse
But yeah.
when they got you. Like you were just about
Oh,
town.
okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So they, as far as they know, they don't even know if you have a horse. So your horse is just
Damn it!
shored up
I want my
somewhere.
horse back.
Well, then get out of prison. You'll get your horse. You'll get
All
Thornberry
right.
back.
Yeah, we're just. I think I keep an eye out for the supplies, like where they might be.
Okay. Um. Then
But it's okay. The top priority is getting out of there. I think. If I can't find them, it's okay.
okay. Um. Trying to think of the best way to represent this because we got a couple of moves that could really indicate what's going on here. It kind of depends a little bit on the specifics of exactly what you're trying to accomplish here. Like if you're directly like trying to find if like this is a move about finding the equipment, then gather information would make a lot of sense. You're searching the area for them, trying to find them. If it's about trying to escape the prison, that feels more like just a face danger. Like just use your stealth, use your shadow and get out of here. Um,
Mm.
um,
I
do
yeah.
you would you like to like make a roll to see if you can find your equipment and then kind of go from there? Because unfortunately,
Yeah.
okay, as I say, there's unfortunately not really a good way to since it's not like we're running on like a map and everything and just see what happens. Like, kind of have to decide one outcome or another. Um,
Maybe I just stop in front of a prison cell real quick and be like, "Hey, you, where do they keep the prisoners' belongings?" Or something.
okay.
I feel like that would give me a higher chance.
Yeah, if you want to reveal yourself to a prisoner, we could do like secure an advantage with heart to be like, can you get somebody to point you in the right direction, and then that would give you potentially a bonus on finding the equipment.
Okay, yeah, I want to do that.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so I want you to get out of this prison quickly, as we talked about before, and we wanted to focus on some other stuff here. So I'm not gonna make every moment like we're not gonna figure out like who this person is as a character. And we're gonna go through some of these roles a little bit more quickly just to get through the prison part.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good.
so let's secure an advantage with heart to see can you get a prisoner to tell you a little bit more about where they keep stuff. Hey, critical hit, an opportunity.
Nice.
So obviously yes they will do that. You get the secure an advantage, you get the strong hit, so you'll it's that same choice as before. You can either get the momentum or like just do better on this next hit. Also, let's see, with an opportunity something really good has got to happen. I think the opportunity is something like uh it should probably just be that like they're completely unguarded, like you can just get them. Like opportunity suggests to me we might not even need to roll for this. If it's that kind of a critical, like this prisoner just knows exactly where, and when you get there, like you're good. um
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's
Sounds good to me.
yeah, I mean
I just want to get out of there.
if it were just a strong hit I'd make you do a roll or something, but you have an opportunity, and the most
Nice.
obvious one to my mind is it's an opportunity if it's just there and you can get it. Um, seems about the right level of what you should earn through that. So let's mark another progress. Like you've got your stuff, you're kind of ready to get out of here. You just gotta get out, and then we can finish up this vow. Because your vow was I will escape the sinkhole and take Chandra with me, and you're getting ready to do exactly that. So
Yes.
there we go. 2 more progress because you've got your stuff. So sword on your body, regular clothes again, assuming you're taking the time to change into them and not just like get stuff under an arm or something. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, let's get you out of here. I think just like a stealth face danger, if you can pull this off, you're probably ready to do this.
Okay.
Let's do this. Shadow. You are rolling so hot tonight. Strong hit, weak hit. Weak hit is your worst thing. Then opportunity, then another strong hit. Yeah, you're fucking gonna get out here. That you, so like,
Hell yeah.
I think that at the last, because technically we still need to resolve the vow. I think the only thing left about this would be like, there, like if somehow the progress roll that we make goes poorly, something Chandra might not make it. Like something might happen along the way that like she takes another stumble and it's just not good enough. Because like I think this roll indicates like that you'll have made your way out of the prison itself, because we're just trying to wrap this up quickly. All we gotta do is just see, is the vow fulfilled, and there's a chance that the dice will just hate you and maybe something bad happens along the way, but you get in a pretty good position now. Largely because indeed I was making these fast and not really making all that much right now, so we can get on to other stuff. So yeah, carrying her, she's slumped over your shoulder. You manage to get the timing right and get out of the place undetected. Let's find out. Are you truly free, or will somebody eventually just spot you on the outside, and then now we have like a guard dog chase situation? Let's see. Making an all-important progress roll. We're gonna roll 2d10. And let's see. Oh, yep. You are continuing to roll so well tonight. Complete strong hit. You're good.
Oh my God, thank you.
This is the best anybody has ever rolled this entire game for session 11. Everything has been a strong hit, basically. Yeah. So on Fulfill Your Vow, and let's see, strong hit on Fulfill Your Vow. First of all, I know you're going to get experience from this, so that's good. You just spent some. Yeah, your quest is complete. Mark your experience. That's all. I guess it only gets worse from there. There's nothing bonus you get. So you're going to get 2 more experience back, which technically puts you to 5 total, but 3 of those have been used. The only reason that's important is because there is kind of an upper cap to how much experience you can get in the game.
Okay.
So like, there were 3 experience that you had that you fully filled in as like you've now used them, but now you have 2 more unused on top of that.
All right, great.
Which, in theory, you could use right now to upgrade one of those 4 assets, or hold it off. You know, as before, 3 will get you a new asset, 2 will upgrade an asset. You can use them anytime that it makes sense in the narrative.
I can upgrade an asset.
You could.
I feel like I should do that. I kind of want to upgrade Shadow right now just to increase my chances.
Those aren't assets. Those actually never move.
Oh, okay.
I meant the cards with like your special abilities and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I was getting confused. Sorry.
Yeah, sadly, your starting stats will always stay the same. That's just fundamental to who you are. But with assets, you get more and more situations that are specific where they're treated as better because you get bonuses and stuff.
Okay.
So like they kind of get better, but the core assets don't. So yeah, I think. So where do you see yourself? Like you got a strong hit on this. You got the 2 of you just to complete safety under your terms. Like everything went right this session. You've got her healed. You've got both of you out. You're undetected, and you fulfilled your vow. So like, paint a picture for us of like, are you still in town, like holing up somewhere to recover? Is it that you like get straight on Thornberry and like get the fuck out of here? Like what does this look like when you get everything you wanted here?
Yeah, I think once I get out, I tried to find like the darkest alley. I need to find someone I can trust just to like ask where are the nearest horse stables, because the nearest one is bound to have Thornberry. But
well, Thornberry is just wherever you left him. Like you would have stabled him going into town, and you can just. Thornberry hasn't been moved.
Okay, so I do know where he is.
Yeah, Thornberry hasn't been moved.
I didn't know this. Okay.
No, you haven't lost him. The only reason you didn't have him is he just wouldn't have been in the prison with you. But otherwise, like, you haven't lost access to Thornberry. He's just wherever you left him.
Okay.
So yeah, like you know where to go.
So this would have been a place that I would have paid them after taking him
Yeah.
back, or
Probably, yeah, exactly. Because remember, you came into the town on really good terms. They may have even fronted
that's
you it
true.
because, like, you helped capture this criminal. Very quickly, you became a
True.
criminal, but yeah, you were probably fronted stabling cost on some place, like, in even a nicer place. Because, yeah, the guards used to really like you.
Okay. All right. This is making sense. So we're just gonna take the darkest alleyways back to that stable. Get Thornberry back. And get the hell out of this city because I don't want to. I mean, we're gonna be wanted now.
Actually, I want to roll an oracle real quick. I want to see what time of day it is because, especially with the prison being
Ooh.
called the sinkhole, I imagine it's a good deal of it might be underground and like part of the process may be like keeping you from knowing what time of day it is. Like it may be like just kept artificially dark all the time. So I'm curious,
Mm.
like if we have if you like come out and it's just like high noon, bright daylight. You had no idea. Um, like either way, you escape. You're fine. But like
Yeah.
I'm
Just
curious.
can't be as discreet when we're.
Let's roll an oracle and see like
Okay.
um let's see. I put it as a like 50-50 chance on whether the sun is out. Um
Yeah. I'd say
so
so.
so I'm gonna say
Probably lose track of time while we're in there.
exactly. Like I think they do a lot to disorient you in there,
Mm.
and you weren't in for too long, but even still. So yeah, I'm gonna say the question is it currently daytime? And the oracle is going to answer no. Okay, so it is night.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Can be more sneaky.
exactly. I was just curious for the visual. Um,
Yeah.
Not that it would really have all that much effect on it. So okay, then yeah, since you know where Thornberry is and everything, like, I don't think that's going to involve any kind of rolls. You can get to Thornberry and get out of town if that is your desire. The question, of course, is, where do you want to go? Also, because I'm feeling nice. I feel like, in the grand scheme of this story, this is a milestone on helping Chandra find Muko because she otherwise was going to be trapped in a prison, and you did get her out of there, which is not a good way to find Muko. So this does push that narrative forward.
I think I do make a few last attempts to ask people that seem
Oh,
trustworthy if they
okay,
know where Muko is, because he's either in the city or he's not. I'm starting to doubt he's even in
okay.
this
Um,
town.
well, here's my question. Uh, what would you do to gauge whether or not somebody's trustworthy? How do you go about that sort of thing? In presumably
I
not
feel like
really
I'm
having
a
enough time to get to know him as friends and everything.
I feel like I'm a good. I mean, I have 2 wits,
Yeah.
3 heart. I feel like I'm a good judge of character.
Okay,
So I
so
think,
maybe just a secure an advantage type situation to see like
yeah,
start off by just scrutinizing him to make sure that you're more likely to be talking to somebody who's got your back here.
yeah. I feel like we were just being careless earlier, like before prison.
Now, granted,
We were just asking everyone and anyone.
the person who probably would have been most able to help you, though not exactly a fan of yours at the moment, would have also been in prison. God, what was her name? The prisoner you took in that we talked about was a rabble rouser who was trying to like.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I never got a chance. Her name was
What was her name?
Nakata.
Yeah, Nakata. Nakata probably would have had all sorts of info if you could. You'd have to overcome the hump of you didn't help her and like she's in prison because of you, but like the info would have been there.
True,
Um,
but she wanted to stay. She was like, "Oh, okay."
um,
So I
um,
think
but yeah, we can do that.
this.
We can do you
I
just
think
like
I
kind
want
of
to ask. Well, not ask, but I want to assess the stable keeper. I think.
okay. Just there, you chat up a little bit and see
I
whether
may
or
have
not you
asked
think.
him already.
But you think maybe there's like some, like maybe this time around you have some like leading questions or something that get a little bit of a feel for like how happy he is with the situation
Mm.
here, and maybe that's an indicator of how helpful he would be, and like that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or maybe something changed in the time we were in prison, and maybe he
maybe.
did suddenly get worried.
I mean, granted, I don't think you were in there for all that long, but I
That's true.
think it was at most like I don't know 2 days.
Yeah, I did decide pretty quickly I was getting the hell out of
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, it was probably less than one. You barely got to know your roommate.
True.
Um, so then, yeah, let's let's make this a secure and advanced situation. We're gonna use your wits, because it's your insight. How insightful are you into figuring out being a judge of character? And the better you do on this, the more likely you'll get a good result when you try and compel some information out of him or them. I have no idea who this person is. So let's try it. Beep beep. Okay. Unfortunately, you got one of your bad results. A weak hit. Only a weak hit. God, you're doing so well tonight. So yeah, you get a little bit of a read. It's your advantage is short lived. Take +1 momentum. So it seems like maybe the stable keeper is kind of busy right now. Let me roll up some info on them since it seems like you're gonna have at least a. Actually, fuck it. I don't think this moment is especially important to go into detail either. I don't think we need to make a full-fledged character. We're gonna get to some new stuff tonight, and only if we kind of
Yeah.
gloss over some of the preliminary things. So I'm just gonna give you your momentum. You have a conversation. We're not gonna get into the exact words. This is like the montage of what's happening rather than playing out the scenes.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, so the stable keeper is in kind of like a hurry. So can't have a long conversation about this, but they seem kind of trustworthy. Like you're getting a good read on them. They seem friendly, and at the very least, you probably have the faith that at worst you're not going to be in town long enough to, or you're not going to be in this spot long enough to, for him to tell anybody or for them to tell anybody. Like last time, you were in a tavern and there was enough time for somebody to sneak out and come back. Like it's a different situation. So you're feeling confident about it, or at least you have reason to feel confidence. I'm not going to tell you what your character feels, but
I feel confident.
all right. So then let's make that a compel roll, because you were trying to get him to tell you what they know about Muko, and as far as I know, you're just using your charm. Like you're not threatening him, and you're not lying or anything. It's just basic conversational stuff. It's good. You're using your best stat. So yeah, let's see. Okay, another weak hit, which means that you'll take +1 momentum since you are. Actually, this gets a little bit more complicated. You're because you're using this to gather information, so you'll make that move and have a +1 on it. Like technically, I guess this was just like compelling him to indeed take some time to say anything, and then it's just like how good the information is will be determined by another roll based on the rules. However, because it's a weak hit, they want something in return, and we're gonna find out a little bit about like what's this character's motivation here. Yeah, Blink is here. We're having some technical difficulties tonight, unfortunately. I can't capture her window.
Sorry.
It's not her fault though. It's actually on my end. I can't capture any windows, so some technical difficulties tonight. But she is here, just in voice only.
Hello.
I'm gonna roll up character goal, and we're gonna find out what might be important to this person.
Okay.
Enrich themselves. Okay, so this is really like they just want to bribe. This is real simple. Thankfully, you've got your supply back, and you've got. Oh, I was looking at the wrong column when I said you had a lot of supply. I was looking at your spirit. You don't have a lot. You have. You're running a little low. In fact, it would take probably the last of your supply to do this if you just wanted to give money out of what you had. Alternatively, you could try and scrounge up some money somehow and come back. But this person wants to get paid. Or wants something of value that you got.
I don't know if I would have any money. I mean, I would have left with a little bit. Like a few coins, but not much.
Yeah. Well then
you just offer what I have. I'd be like, here, you like. few coins, but this is all I have.
Okay, if you're willing to indeed just kind of like get rid of the last of what you've got, taking your supply down to 0, that'll totally work.
Okay.
The one thing I will tell you about having a supply of 0, um, just from a game mechanic standpoint that you're probably a little bit less familiar with, just to let you know what you're in for with that, you'll immediately get the condition unprepared, which is kind of like being wounded again in a sense. And like being wounded, it can go away, but like you'll have to like in order to get supplies back, you won't be able to do it by like camping or doing anything out in the wilds. Like you kind of have to resupply in town by using the sojourn
Okay.
move. Um, I'm pretty sure that's the only way to get supply back. I don't think making camp can do it because making camp in theory it takes your supplies.
Okay.
Or I guess you can resupply. You can do it out in the wilds. I think it's just a little bit harder.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
guess
it'll just
that.
be it'll be an added difficulty, but nothing that is like insurmountable. But just want to make sure you know what you're in for.
So this does get me information on Muko.
Well, he'll give information. The result of the gather information roll, which this is turning into, which you'll have a bonus on, will determine like how useful that information is, I guess. So while I'm resetting putting all the things in their proper places, adjusting your character sheet to what it should reflect, Mike, if you had to boil it all down to one question that you're asking about him that we can figure, because it'll be easiest to figure out like what kind of information you get out of it. Like, what would you be asking about Muko specifically?
I'd be like, I would ask him, is Muko alive in town or has he left?
Okay, so like, gotcha. One second, one last thing. Boop boop. And actually, I lied. One more thing. Gotta just make sure to mark how the there we go. Your momentum max is now a little bit lower, and momentum reset is a little bit lower because of being unprepared. So I definitely recommend as soon as you can, when it makes sense in the story, like probably taking care of like resupplying and stuff because it's not too hard to take care of and it's going to be just vaguely hindering you. Just keep it in mind. So let's make that gather information roll. You have a +1 because of that form remove. Let's see what kind of info you can get on this. If it's good info, that may well be another mark of progress. If you like have a very direct idea of where to go.
Yeah.
So gather information is another wits roll, I believe. Yeah. Because I think it's representative of like you having the intelligence to like ask the right questions to like conduct this investigation. As we continue in montage mode, you get a +1 on this, and okay, a weak hit, and only because you rolled really high on one of the challenge dice. You rolled a 10 on one of them. There's not really any getting around that. So you have a weak hit on gather information. Information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover and take +1 momentum. So the good news is you're building up that momentum pretty decently now. The bad news is he has an answer, but it's complicated. I think at the very least, the answer is definitely that he's not in town.
Okay.
But he clearly knows who you're talking about, encountered Muko here, and I think clarifies that indeed, as we've kind of talked about before as players, like Muko got into some trouble being seen as like a bad seed because of his just his affairs and magics did not play over very well with this town that is very skittish with anything that suggests it might be unhealthy, and it's just they think health comes out of control, and his magic was too chaotic. He was getting a reputation for himself. They did not like it, and from what this stable guy knows, he was like he came. We'll say that he came through here because he needed to get a horse when he was apparently running out of town pretty quick. That like you kind of look around and see that there's indeed like not as many horses around here or something. Like maybe there was one that or I guess there'd be no real way to tell that, but yeah, he had to get out of town quickly, and he he bought one of the horses that they just own, and we'll say that he'll give you info on a town that Muko seemed to be suggesting. Like he mentioned something about heading towards dot dot dot, and let's fill in those dots here and find out something about a town that complicates your quest a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing too
I was
bad.
gonna say.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the challenge from the weak hit could have been him tipping someone off that I got out of prison, or
Oh well, this is it's specifically that the information complicates your quests. Like something about what
okay.
something about what he tells you just makes things a little bit more complicated. And
okay, I gotcha.
him tipping you off would probably be more like if you got a full-on miss or something, or tipping them off. But no, this is just that what he tells you is somehow just a little bit more complicated. So we're gonna figure out a town that maybe there's some reason why you wouldn't want to go there, or at least like it wouldn't be it wouldn't be your favorite place to go. Nothing that's too bad, because again, like it was a weak hit, but
maybe it's just really hard to get to.
yeah, exactly. Like it could be something along those lines. But
maybe it's up in some mountains.
It's definitely a place we've never been before, because I want it to be. So let's find out. I'm gonna roll a location. Okay, the location said hill, so it's some town on the top of a hill, and I got some other oracles to work through. Location descriptor. All right, it's big. I rolled big twice.
It's a big hill.
It's big.
It's a
mountain. Well, no, this is about the town itself.
Okay.
I rolled big twice. I was gonna roll 3 descriptors of this place. I think because big came up twice, like this is probably the closest that we come to like a metropolis.
Nice.
The Ironlands,
so it's really bustling.
Yeah, like the Ironlands doesn't really have those, but it's the closest you come to like truly this is a city, which would probably have like walls around it and everything. Like they have somehow have got a community that's got their shit enough together that like it's what one would recognize in the old world as like actually being a city. So like this place is big. There are full on like districts to get through. Like navigating it itself would be a challenge. And then for a last descriptor,
I feel like I would have known about this.
Grim. Oh, you may have known about it. I just don't think you've ever been there.
Right.
Now, the last descriptor that we got of this place was grim, and I'm glad that there's something a little bit more negative there to give an idea of like why this might be a complication, or not complication, but like, or I guess yes, why it complicates your quest. So yeah, there's something
just like kind of dreary, and
I kind of want to make it more than that
serious?
and see if we can add in a little bit more like mysticism to it if we can, because I think this town is also get ever closer to the obelisks.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And maybe the obelisk, like getting as you get closer to it, things just kind of like get weirder, and in this case worse. Now I could let's see. We need to come up. I'm gonna roll some action and theme to get an idea of like what is making this place grim and what's weird about this place. So I have the action and theme gave me impress religion. So there is like what's weird and grim about this place has to do with what would probably be described as like a cult. Maybe
they started worshiping the obelisks, or
I think that at the
when they
very
started
least they
glowing.
do that. That they worship the obelisks, and as a result, there's probably something they do that's uh, and since they're grim, it's probably like a death cult. Like they worship it as like the like when it started glowing, that was the indicator of like these are the end times, and this is going to like it it's going to bring us
That
all
makes
to our merciful death. Like this maybe it's just at least so far of what we know about the place, it's majorly that. There's like kind of a creepy death cult here that worships the obelisks in the belief that that divine light is going to take them to what's beyond. And
okay.
there's like I think the city itself is it's like a theocracy. Like it's run by the people that are in charge of this religion, and there's probably some like strange rituals and stuff that happen in public spaces. Like because it's run by the religion, like this run by this cult. Like I don't think they have to hide anything. There's
Mhm.
there's probably some death rituals that happen from time to
Oh
time
God.
uh, that are just out there. What's very interesting to me is that somehow like this all works. Like they have one of the
Yeah.
most bustling cities that exists out in the Ironlands. Like whatever they're doing is working. It's just probably involves blood rituals to keep their crops going or whatever it is that's allowing them to be this big community. And yeah, I think they're weird enough. You've definitely heard of them before. But that also makes sense of why Muko might go there, because like it's getting close to the obelisks. It's more magical, like it's more
Mhm.
weird. It's a place he'd fit in a little bit better in a sense. Um, so yeah, you find out he said something about heading that direction, which
Well, thank you, good sir.
yeah,
I shall be on my way.
which
Take my stuff.
yeah, and I think that should also count for a I'm being very generous with waypoints tonight, but like, uh, I feel like that's another. God, I can't remember the official game term for it, but when you've made progress on help Chandra find Muko again, because you know a specific place to look where apparently from Muko's mouth he was heading there. So that definitely sounds like progress to me.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna clear so many vows. I've not done one.
Oh no. We need to get you a body,
We do.
Dad.
Well, if that's gonna happen, we're gonna have to focus on that real hardcore. Because I've got one progress towards that, and each landmark that I hit gives me one more. So,
This is why I want to find Muko,
but
because I feel like
hey,
he's
if not Muko, at the very least, if you're going to some weird town that deals with like death cults and stuff, the theocracy there might know a thing or two as well. Like,
Oh
if you
yeah.
want to get a spirit back in a body, there might be people there you can talk to.
That's true.
So, like, this,
Maybe
honestly, this might be one of the best places you could go.
maybe like a mystical priest or something.
Exactly. Um, the only other thing that I want to remind you is I believe you mentioned at one point a desire to forge a bond with Chandra. And
Mhm.
there's literally a move we could make to do that as you're, like, maybe hitting the road or something, because you've now like saved her life and broken her out of prison, and you're helping her along this quest. You've been through hardships together enough that I think you qualify for trying to make that move if you would like to do so.
Okay.
Specifically, what it'll mean is, yeah, you've made sacrifices for her cause. Like it was harder for you to get out of prison because you were focusing on getting her out as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can make a heart move, which thankfully you're going to be good at forging bonds. Um, oh, now, no, technically, if you make this move after you successfully fulfill your vow to their benefit, you may re-roll any dice. So if you want it to be most likely to succeed, you can wait until you finish this bond and find Muko, and then you'll absolutely forge this bond, or you're going to be really likely to. you very well might be able to do it now. It's just whether or not you want to wait for it.
Yeah. Let's just wait.
Okay.
Let's find
Finish this vow for her.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then it sounds like you're off on a journey to get to this town that we need to give a name to. Let's see. Here's the name generator. Quick settlement name. Ooh, that's good for the Black Falls. It's great for this town. I feel like we talked about this place being on a cliff, on a hill. I feel like there's a cliff or something on one side of the hill where certain people have definitely been known to be like pushed off, like brought to the bottom of the hill a little bit more quickly than people would like to be. I think it's named after that. There's like a side of the hill that's just like obsidian, and like harsh and sharp edges all the way down. And yeah, it just goes down to this like stony, terrible wilderness down below.
Okay.
Just a harsh place to be. So yeah, Black Falls is the name of this town that you need to head towards if you wish to find Muko. But thankfully, it's en route to the obelisks. So
All right.
let's
hightail it out of this place with Thornburg.
Yeah, so I believe your Wayfinder at least has a chance to help you out here. Specifically, if you wind up burning momentum, it'll your Wayfinder will help you with this. But yeah, let's see how you do. Let's undertake a journey. I think this one is just going to be. Let's make this a dangerous journey. It'll take a little bit of doings to get there. It's not like right next door. It's a bit of a distance away. But like a lot of the other stuff earlier in the game, I'm not so interested in the journey between it right now. So I think it's long enough that something might happen, but I think we can just kind of rush through this part and focus mostly on like just do the dice rolls. We don't have to play out moment to moment. I'm more interested in when you get to Black Falls.
Yeah, me too.
So let's just kind of speed through this, undertake a journey. Gonna roll your wits. You are not setting off from a community from which you share a bond, so you will not get a +1. But let's see. Yeah, you did not exactly bond yourself in this community. Hey, there we go. Getting started right with another strong hit because you are rolling so hot tonight. So you have a choice here. You get to either... Alright, so first off, you reach a waypoint. If the waypoint is unknown to you, we'll figure out what it is. Then you get to choose one. Make good use of your resources, make progress, or you can... Actually, you don't have a choice here because you're out of supply. You could, in theory, like, make progress and get momentum, but it costs you some supply because you're just moving at such speed. But you don't have supply to lose anyway. So, I guess technically you could do it, but it would be irrelevant. Because when you lose supply and you don't have any to lose, you would lose momentum. So you would lose the momentum so that you could gain the momentum back. Like, it just doesn't even matter.
Right.
So I don't know. You reach some waypoint along the way, but since we're not playing out moment to moment, it doesn't really matter. It's some stopping point. You'll mark progress. Now, if you want to get some of that supply and like do some scavenging on the road to like get some kind of supplies, you can do that real quick, and that'll help with that sort of problem.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd struggle on the journey if we didn't have any foods.
Exactly. So you can find something. Let's see how well that goes. Again, speeding through this. So the resupply move is what you would want. It's when you hunt, forage, or scavenge. So it's another wits move. Let's see what we got. Ba-boom. Oh, we have our first miss of the night, however.
Damn
it. And you do not have enough momentum to get that working in your favor. So, unfortunately, you find nothing, and it says to pay the price because you find nothing helpful. It doesn't have to be anything too bad, Just
Just
what
really, really hungry.
it has to be what makes sense. Yeah, like maybe the price is like because your stomach is gurgling and they didn't feed you in prison or anything. Like maybe you lose some spirit because like it's really hard to stay focused and like your mood is going down because you're really hungry.
Yeah, I think that would definitely
I
happen.
don't think it's so far gone that like you it's taking a toll on your health. Like you're not
Mhm.
starving to death yet, but it's certainly affecting your outlook on things.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll just have you suffer a spirit and then make you make that roll.
I'm wondering how long it takes us to get to this city.
Probably on the order of a few days.
Okay.
Enough time to indeed make camp if you want to do that move as well. You won't be able to get supplies out of it, but you might be able to do heal up some other stuff. Because indeed you are wounded.
Yeah, I think we did
Granted,
stop.
make camp can't heal your wounds, but hold on, where is
What
the
does making camp do?
make camp will allow you to basically do make any of your other sliders better. Like you could get health, and you could get
Mhm.
spirit, you can get momentum, you can prepare so you'll do better on the journey. You can make like your various sliders do better, but since you are wounded enough to have like the condition wounded, the only way to get rid of
Mhm.
that is with a heal move. Like when you get an opportunity later, you might be able to heal yourself or get somebody to heal you and clear that condition.
Okay, I think we do have to stop at least one night because it's such a long journey.
Okay. We might be able to find just like a town along the way. Um,
Okay.
but anyway, I got to make you roll endure stress. Your spirit is equal to your heart, so it doesn't matter. Just gonna roll that. Come on, there we go. Weak hit, so you take it. You just you press on through this hunger, but it's nothing good or bad happens. Just your stomach is rumbling, and you've had that hit to your spirit.
Okay.
Because yeah, you probably had to take a little bit of time to find something, and recognizing that you couldn't get anything is not making the rest of this journey look
Yeah.
all that great. But you press on. Um, so let's undertake a
Mhm.
journey. See
Onward
if
and
you
upward.
see if you can get to the next place.
Okay.
There you go. Strong hit again. When you're actually doing the journey, you're doing great. Um, yeah, so another two progress, and again, you would in theory have a choice here, but because you don't have supply, the choice is irrelevant. Let's just mark two more of those. This waypoint, if you want it to be a town where you can like stop and have a chance to like maybe rest a little bit along the way,
Mhm.
could totally have that be the waypoint. It doesn't have to all
Okay.
be wilderness. It's probably like barely a town. Like by town, it probably means like there is a general store where people might get stuff. Like there's some guy selling some produce, and then a couple of homes where like that person's family lives, and like yeah, like this is barely a town. It's just a place where people have stopped. It's basically a trading camp.
I'm just imagining the big summer blowout guy from Frozen. He's got that little shack.
So yeah, I think you find something along those lines. So not enough to like even really get an like you couldn't get an inn or anything like that, but you could encounter people
Okay.
and may and um
Yeah, let's stop by a nearby town.
okay.
Pick up
Um
some supplies.
so this one, well, unfortunately again, like there's if you wanted to get supplies from the town, that would be a full on like there's a way to do that, but it'd be like spending a good deal of time here, which you could do if you're not in a hurry.
Mm.
You just have to spend a few days here, like seeking assistance, basically, like pleading on the help
Oh,
of the community.
really?
Yeah, like there's the move sojourn is when you spend time in a community seeking assistance. You'll roll heart, which is great. You're good at it, but that's kind of like you're spending time there, ingratiating yourself in the community, like they get to know you, and like just as a community, like everybody helps each other. It's that sort of thing. Um, there's
Mm.
no real way to just like quickly resupply. Um,
Okay, yeah, I don't think I want to risk it then,
okay.
because because we don't know what we're gonna come across, and our
Yeah.
last experience wasn't that great.
You could still try and just scavenge out on the road as you go. Just try and make resupply work again.
Yeah, we'll scavenge.
All right.
I'd say.
Let's go for that. You're independent. Let's see. There you go. Well, at least a weak hit this time. So, take up to +2 supply, but you'll suffer -1 momentum for each one you get. Now, all you need is, as long as you have just the one supply, you'll at least no longer be unprepared, which is good. You could take 2, and then you'll just have the lower momentum. But you've got a kind of decent momentum right now, so I might encourage just taking the 1. Just to save that momentum.
That sounds good.
All right, let's bring that down and bring the supply up. There you go. You are no longer out of supply, which means there's a few things I have to change again. Your hand still hurts, and and I guess you're no longer hungry because you have enough to eat something. You've got some.
Maybe we found some berries or something.
Yeah. Some wild game.
Some quail.
Enough that you're no longer just dreading this entire journey and being like, oh my god, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to die out here. Trying to feed 2 people. One of them is horribly wounded. The other one is kind of wounded. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, you are no longer unprepared. Because I'm pretty sure you don't have to... Let me just check. I don't think you have to roll anything to, like, get rid of that. I think you just either are unprepared or not.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, just checking this real quick. Yeah, as far as I know, you are no longer unprepared. You're good.
Okay.
Cool, then. Yeah, you find some stuff. You keep on going. Maybe... It doesn't even matter. Let's just roll through.
Okay.
Let's get you to this place. Let's get you to the fun place.
It's Black Falls.
Yeah, get to Black Falls.
Which
exactly.
It probably isn't really a waterfall there. It's just Black Falls.
No, maybe a long time ago that was a waterfall. Now it's other things that fall. Okay, so here's the thing. You have a weak hit, but it is one where you could... Oh, actually, no, you can't. If your momentum were still where it was, you could have improved this, but now that it's 1 lower, you can't. Never mind. Weak hit is probably still fine, though. All it means is you'll reach a waypoint and mark progress, but you lose that supply you just got. So it cost everything you... Like, whatever you scavenged was just enough to get you through the next leg of the journey.
Okay.
Like, it was enough to get you there, but that's it, which means... God damn it. Gotta reset all that stuff again. Because you are unprepared again. You are out of supply. Hold on. Yeah, you found just enough, clearly. But hey, got you the 1 step closer. At any point, like even now if you want, we could... Oop, hold on, sorry. We can make the progress move to see how it went. Like, there's no need to actually wait to fill up the entire track or even close to it. Just the more that we fill it, the more likely it is to go well when you get there and to, like, reach your destination safely. But in theory, you've got 6 progress. You got decent odds to do well now if you want to. By the same token, you're pretty good and you're a wayfinder and everything. So, like, you'll probably do well at getting there. So... doing it now might just be the riskier move. I don't know. So yeah, I guess the question is, would you want to... and this is entirely a meta question. You want to press your luck on continuing to, like, make progress rolls, and it might keep hitting your supply in ways that bring you down, or... take a little bit of a risk by just seeing if this much progress is just like, and we got to the town, like that was enough. We're good. With the chance that it could go worse when you get there.
I mean, I just want to get to the town, so whatever. Oh, Dagan, no, get off.
Well, both ways will do that, but I think you'll want to just keep undertaking a journey. Just
Yeah.
make it safe. Unfortunately, this one is our first miss on that, which is the risk with continuing. So you're waylaid by a perilous event. So we need to find out, like, what kind of situation are you in when this happens? Where are you? So we can make sense of this event. And let's see what the Oracle has to say. What the hell? Come on. We are... Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I guess maybe it could. What the Oracle determined was the location is a coast, which could make sense. Maybe this part of the journey you have to kind of follow closely along a coast. Maybe not to like the full-on ocean, but
Yeah, that could make sense.
but maybe there's like a wide river that comes in or something. We're still, of course, in the like harsh winter, which we always have to keep in mind.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I hadn't thought about it until this moment either.
No wonder why it was hard to find supplies.
Yeah, exactly. So we're in a hard, like it could just be like a sort of go-to for the harsh winter. A perilous event is just bad storm kind of coming in. They seem to come frequently in these Ironlands. Yeah, just harsh
blizzard,
cold blizzard winds coming in that you gonna have to make some shelter from. Let's make some rolls to see how well you can put up with it. I think you have an opportunity here to maybe make a good shelter to withstand it, which I think would be like a
maybe we can find a cave.
Yeah. So perhaps secure an advantage to find like a good spot and then face danger to see like how well you face the danger of this blizzard. And of course, the better shelter you have, the better you'll do on facing danger. So yeah, blizzard's coming in. Using your wits to see if you can find a good cave somewhere. Hey, strong hit. So you're going to be able to either take 2 momentum or take a +1 on that face danger that's about to come up.
Yes.
It is up to you which one you'd like. The face danger will probably be with iron, since it's just like withstanding it with your body. So you won't be rolling a very good stat, which gives good reason to get a +1 on it. But at the same time, if you take 2 momentum, you'll have 6 momentum, and maybe all the better at withstanding it that way. So really, either option is pretty good. It's up to you, though.
I'm gonna take momentum.
All right, let's give you the momentum. See how well you can take it. Face danger coming up right now. Iron. Boom. All right, it is a miss, and it's one that you can't make better with momentum. So clearly, the blizzard comes in pretty hard. You fail your progress undermined by dramatic and costly turn of events. Pay the price. I mean, what makes the most sense is it's probably just another hit to your. It's probably a hit to your health. Just like this cave, like it's probably just the wind like shift, and it's the area it's the end it's exposed on. Like they're just coming in that way as well, and just the cold is biting. I think it just it harms you. Just trying to deal with bitter cold on that level.
Fine. Bring my help. 0.
It does bring it down to 0. So it's definitely a priority to deal with when you can. You might be able to make camp though and make it better. Like once after the blizzard passes through, like this is the effects when it all gets over with. Like, but eventually it subsides and you might be able to just stop and treat yourselves. Hold on, let's move that down to 0 and make you roll.
It's a far more perilous journey.
It was. I mean, it's a bad place you're heading to. We talked about it being hard to get to. You're probably getting higher and higher up in the mountains to get to this, and so it's all the colder and all the more exposed to the wind as there are fewer trees around. That's probably part of what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, and your endure harm is Here's the problem though. Your endure harm was also a miss. Now this is one that you could make into a strong hit if you burned your momentum right now. If you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to lose momentum. And you can either mark maimed because you're already wounded, or roll on a table that has at least a chance that you could be facing death from this. So that's all what could happen, or you could burn momentum and this could be a strong hit, and then you'll actually gain health right back.
Wait, you said if I took maim, right?
So there's technically 3 options here. Option 1 is you burn your momentum. You'll actually probably gain health back, and then we just move on. It's just your momentum will be lower. Option 2 is if we keep this as a miss, you can take maimed, which is it's like being wounded, but it doesn't go away very easily or like at all. And I think it's just like a permanent thing. That would be like frostbite sets in and like you lose.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like that would be maimed, since wounded is already marked. Or option 3 is instead of being maimed, you'd take your chances on a table that includes all sorts of options. Some of those options are there's a 20% chance, or there's a decent chance on that table that something might lead towards face death, but not necessarily. There's at least a 50% chance that you'll just be fine on that table.
Okay.
So those are the 3 options.
Let's burn through momentum.
It's probably wise.
Despite it all, she just keeps going.
Yeah, like you've been building up. You've got the narrative on your side at least to like maybe it was just like it was setting in really badly, but then just you like turn your back towards, or maybe the momentum is because you've done so much to like help Chandra. There's this moment where like she's the one standing in front of you with her cold winter gear, like sheltering you from the cold for a little bit, to help pay it back, and help. It's enough to like help you maybe make a fire. We haven't technically made camp or anything, but yeah. So you'll burn the momentum. I like that idea that it like the momentum is building up this relationship with Chandra, and so she's helping you in this moment to withstand it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So your momentum will go down to 0, but as a result, you get to either take 1 health back, so it would do nothing to you, but you'll have to take a -1 momentum, or you can just get 1 momentum back by embracing the pain in this moment and be like, fuck it, it's cold, but I don't care. Life is cold.
Yeah, I think I go with that.
Okay, well, let's give you that 1 momentum back. You just grit your teeth and say, I don't care that I'm cold. I'm an Ironlander, damn it.
Exactly.
Cool. Then would you like to indeed make camp here as it once the winds are not cooling down, but like subsiding a little bit? Because that could give you an opportunity to indeed do things like treat your injuries a little bit more, or prepare for the journey and be a little bit more likely to succeed.
Yes, I want to I want to play around with my blue magic a little bit more
Oh,
and just
okay.
rest up. See if I can get a little bit more healing going.
Cool. Well, then let's make a make camp roll. So you're oh. So here's the trick with it though. I had some of these intricacies I had forgotten how they all work. The trick is, and if you decide you don't want to make camp as a result, that's fine. When you're making camp, what you roll is your supply, which is currently at 0. Now you can still roll it. It'll just be you'll be adding 0 to this, and it'll just all be in the dice. You can do it. It's just obviously harder because you don't really have the supplies to make camp very well. You're getting by with like nothing, and so as a result, you're going to be more likely to get a bad result on this, especially because you don't have momentum to fall back on. Alternatively, you can wait for it and try and do other stuff. Yeah. Or scavenge first to try and get the supply. There's various options, but do you still want to risk it and make camp?
Yes.
Okay. Then let us roll with a...
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this blizzard. We need to make camp.
Yeah, it's true. All right. So your supply is at 0. Let's make a roll. Just checking if there's anything we got that would help your situation on your assets, but I don't think so. Holy shit! You actually got a critical hit on that. You have an opportunity, a second one of the game. Yeah, you didn't have any supplies, but I think the opportunity is like, I think you find something in this cave. Like you didn't think you'd have anything to work with, but maybe somebody once camped here and they didn't make it, but like their supplies are left. Like, what if, like, it's kind of a grim opportunity, but we're heading to this more grim place of Black Falls. What if there's like a just frozen body that just didn't make it, but you find their supplies? And so
that would be awesome.
Yeah, so like even before the make camp option, like, which is going to allow you to get some other stuff, I think, yeah, let's give you... I'm going to roll a d6, and we're going to see, like... Or a d3. I think you could get 1, 2, or 3 supplies out of this. It's not going to be, like, a huge bounty, or otherwise I don't know why they would have possibly just not made it, but... I'm going to see whether you
I was hoping they had money, because we're going to this big city, and we're going to...
I mean, money and all is kind of abstracted, and it's all just supply. There's technically a way you can involve money as well, but...
yeah.
At the core game, it doesn't really treat it that way. It's more of like everything's just bartered. So, let's see. How many supply do you get out of this opportunity? You get the full 3 supply out of it. You found this person was just probably otherwise sickly or something and just was not able to make use of what they had because they had a lot. They just weren't able to use it. And it was like covered in snow and frozen over, but like somehow you, when trying to like clear a patch for so like where to build the fire, like your hand brushes against it and you feel something and you start digging it out and you find this frozen corpse next to like a lot of supplies, like a lot of food and a lot of provisions. There you go. You are no longer unprepared. You've just been jockeying between being unprepared and not, but now that you got 3, you're probably going to do pretty well for a little bit.
So what do they have? Like,
I mean, it's all abstracted. So like, it's probably general camping kind of stuff. Like it's road supplies. They don't have any like gear in the sense of like, oh, their cool sword or something.
okay.
I think it was just a traveler. So like the stuff you would need for a road.
Okay. So I'm just imagining that their face frozen in like some weird contorted way.
I think that, yeah, it's... Yeah, well, go ahead, describe it.
Like in The Shining, I don't know.
Oh god, just the like...
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, it's like back against the wall, and they were... Who knows what happened here? But they sought refuge here as well. Now, there's still some other results that you get from this, because that was just the opportunity part of this. You also got a strong hit on Make Camp, which means you're going to get to choose 2 from this list. All right? Number one, take +1 health for you and any companion. So Chandra would also get health. Again, we're not really tracking her exact health anyway, so that doesn't matter. But you would get +1 health.
Okay.
If you wanted to get double that and get another +1 health, you could also take partake, which would give you a second +1 health, but you'd have to lose one of those supplies. Similarly, it would help her just as much. The other option, relax, which would give you +1 spirit, focus, which would give you +1 momentum, and prepare, which would, when you break camp, you add +1 if you undertake a journey. So you'd take the opportunity to make preparations for your journey up ahead.
I think I want to take some health here.
Yeah, so at the very least, I'd do the recuperate, so you get that +1 from that. So yeah, as you sit there in the warmth of the fire, and kind of like, you probably have an opportunity to like tend to your hands a little bit more to make that feel better, and like you're still wounded, but it at least doesn't bother you as much in the moment. And then you get one more out of this, and I guess technically I am a companion with you. You and your allies may each choose 2. I am technically an ally here.
You are.
I am technically an ally. So if we want to do again, like I know last time we did making camp, I did prepare to like kind of think out the journey for you, so you can get that +1. So I'll take that as one of mine, and I'm also going to take the recuperate to help my spirit, because like I'm starting to feel like we're not in such immediate peril that maybe working together we can get out of this situation. And I just like, it's okay. Look, you found that bounty. She's carrying you along. She got out of prison. We're back together. Like it'll be okay. So I'm going to improve my spirit, and I'll focus on helping you out on the journey.
All right, great.
And so you get the one more to do. So would you like it to be another health but paying momentum? Taking momentum? Getting spirit? Or I guess you could also prepare and just get a +2 on this.
Yeah.
Just also
Yeah.
prepare? So
Yeah.
we conference together, I guess. And
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, we think in your head we're going over all the options up ahead, and like drawing out a map in the snow, or yeah, maybe they even have like a map like in their stuff here, so you can like look at an actual map. They probably had a journal as well, but I don't know enough about this person to improvise what's in there. Just if that were an important part of the game, we could look into it more. But they had stuff to write. Like it's probably in the journal that they have just like a sketched out map, more not like an unfurled like piece of canvas. It's just like they have notes on the area. Okay, so yeah, you'll have a +2 then on this undertake a journey. Should go pretty well. You're good at this, and you have a bonus, and you're a wayfinder. So like everything should be coming up ahead for you. Now let's see if the game agrees. Roll with a +2. Okay. You have a weak hit, and can't make it any better, sadly. But you reach a waypoint and you mark progress, but you suffer -1 supply. It's fine. You got that 3, so it's just
That's true.
it's down to 2.
We're good.
It just cost you a little bit to get there, but now you got 8 progress on this. You're probably pretty good here. If you really want to tie up all the loose ends and make it only a 1% chance that this fails, or does anything but a strong hit, we could press for one more waypoint. But you're probably good at this point.
Yeah. I would say we're fine. I am curious about that corpse though.
Okay.
Like
We can kind of flash back to do that because, like, technically we've already reached the next waypoint or whatever. But if you wanted to investigate that while you were there, we can.
Are we moved on? Sorry.
We can go back and do that real quick though. What are you curious about?
I want to know if Flint senses anything. Like, would he be able to take that body? Would he?
Oh,
Would
well,
he have...
I mean, it's a body. I don't know anything. Like, I don't know anything more about the what
You
it'll.
still need Muko.
I don't know what it'll take to get me into a body. I just that's its body. It seems as good as any other, though. I do worry that it being frozen for that long might have hurt its just form.
True. Okay. Never mind. It was just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and we wouldn't know what to do with it right now anyway. So.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, let's make that progress roll and see. Did you get to the town all right? You should be fine, but we gotta make certain.
Mm-hmm.
Good. A 6 and a 3. You got a strong hit, and good thing you went for one more progress then, because that it turned what would have been a weak hit into a strong hit. So
Nice.
mark that back down, and yeah, you have reached your destination. The situation at your destination favors you, so you can either take another momentum or make another move now and add +1. If you're like, that would be good if like the first thing you do when you get there is just like it's practically kicking down the door and being like, "Where's Muko?" Or I guess with the way you described it, this place has got like a wall around it and everything. So I think you get there, the situation favors you. Like they're not hostile, but it's still like there's people to talk to be let inside. Like you're just an outsider. So yeah, I think when you get to Black Falls, like you are at the gates right now and things are fine, but you still gotta like state your business kind of. So would you like the momentum to help build that up, or do you want to do better on your rolls for this next roll, which will admittedly probably be a heart roll, which you're pretty good at. So I might recommend the momentum.
Yeah, and plus the momentum's kind of low, so yeah,
exactly.
let's get that up.
It's pretty low right now. Always need some help building that up. So cool. We've reached Black Falls, and it's only been 90 minutes. Hey, there's a lot
of progress.
There's a lot of bookkeeping to do. Now, if I hadn't already given you the mark of progress for like helping Chandra find Muko by knowing where to go, I'd give it to you now. But I feel like that's double dipping. Like you knew where to go, and you got there. Like,
yay!
In this case, that feels like a little bit too much. I think if you find out more about like more specifics, because we talked about this place is huge. It's got districts and everything. Like, there's probably like Flint in your head, who's definitely never been this far out to any place like this. Just like, good God, I didn't know that we made him this large in the new lands.
I guess this is the biggest one.
Dwarfed only by the obelisk itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just flabbergasted at like seeing these big walls. Like I'm picturing in my mind like the walls in Avatar that they have to like get through with the drill to get to like these are towering walls around like a very large city of like Ba Sing Se. Like it's a very protected area. And so yeah, there are gatekeepers here who want state your business.
We seek the wizard Muko. Have you seen him pass through here?
Yeah, let's do a I guess yeah, there's a chance like they'd probably get identities and so there's a chance that you'd indeed know very specifically of Muko. I don't think you need to in this case, I don't think you would need to like. The situation is favorable to you, so you don't need to compel him to get this information. I'm just gonna go straight to the gather information and see like what you can get out of this guard, this gatekeeper. Yeah, let's see. Let's make a wits roll. Ooh,
They might not even remember.
it is a
'cause
miss, unfortunately.
I'll probably get a lot of people coming through.
Yeah, well, so on a full-on miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Now, I don't want to do the same. I don't want to do. I don't want to do the same thing as last time, where it's like Muko, that son of a bit. Like, we kind of we did that. I want to do something else, but yeah, something that undermines your quest is what you learn here. I mean, the easiest thing would just be like pass through here, but now like he's gone. Like he was a let in. He was allowed to come in for on a pass of 1 week, and he's long gone.
No. Can't they just take my horse again?
Yeah, I think he's long gone, and in this case, particularly with it being a full-on miss, like, yeah, the guard knew how long he would like. He like searches through, some memory, and though if he remembers,
thanks,
it's probably not
goodbye.
been all that long. But then we don't get to spend time in Black Falls.
Yeah, I would have moved on if he's not there.
Yeah,
Just
let's
stop for a quick.
let's make it a reason to still be here. He should be here, but ...
I think they should it should take the horse. No black horses here. He's a black horse.
They might. I mean, they probably do have all sorts of weird superstitions and stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
But that's not really the information undermining your quest. Like that could also be true, but
oh, it's got to be information.
Yeah,
Damn
it's
I keep
something.
Forgetting that it's.
Yeah, it's something about the answer to this question reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest.
Maybe he's there, but he's very ill or something, and he's on his deathbed or something.
Yeah, I mean he is like 1,000 years old. Like maybe
he might have just reached that point.
Yeah, where like it's finally catching up with him.
Maybe he's under protection and we can't get to
Oh,
him.
you know what would be great? Okay, so like these people worship death, and he has this very strange relationship with it. I bet like when the time catches up with him. So yeah, there's like a wide grin on this guard's face when you bring up his name. And he says, "You've truly come to the right place then." Or they're grim, so he's probably not that happy in saying it, but you have truly come to the right place then. Muko is our honored guest. Are you here to watch the transformation?
The transformation? What do you mean?
Muko is... We're told Muko is on his way to the end. And when he reaches it, it will be a spectacular end indeed.
What do you mean, the end? Is he dying?
Muko has found a way to... What he is doing goes beyond what we would call death. Muko has lived a family's worth of lives, and all of them are coming to an end. It will be spectacular.
How can I find him? Help me get to him.
That is probably its own separate question. We'll have to do a roll for to see whether or not you can give that out.
So we're gonna be running out of time. We have to get to him like quickly if he's like on a death sentence.
So let's see. Let's do another gather information roll to see whether or not they'll tell you, or for, I guess, I'm gonna make an oracle roll to see whether or not that is something that he's allowed to say, because I don't know, because that'll very much change. Like, if there are orders not to talk about that, if he's being protected, if the theocracy is keeping that under wraps because they want to make sure that the ritual is done correctly and they don't want outsiders interfering, then that's a very different situation. Right. So let's see. Making an oracle. Let's find out. So I think this is probably about I think it's unlikely he's allowed to talk about that, which just means that you'd have to probably like compel him to do so. Like, it's just going to be more complicated to get that information out of him if that's the case. But I'd imagine it's unlikely that. So the question to the oracle is he allowed to just talk about this officially? And I rate that as unlikely, and the dice say no. He is not allowed to. This gatekeeper is not allowed to just talk about it. That doesn't mean you can't get him to. It just means that because it's not in his best interest to do so, you'll probably have to compel him to do it first and give some reason, like how you would sway him if you want to go that route. Because yeah, at first he'd just be like, no, this not just for anyone to know. You will. You can, if you wish to wait, he will. He directs you to like the like there is the like when Muko's journey is complete, he'll be paraded through the town. You can see him then.
Oh no! Oh, when will that be?
The gods only know when exactly he will finish his journey. But surely it is coming. Like, he tells you about how the plan is. There's kind of like, I imagine almost like the like shame scene in Game of Thrones where there's going to be like this long walk through the city that comes from wherever they're keeping him, and like snakes through all sorts of districts so that everybody can see, like, almost as like they're passing like a holy relic through, like almost like they're carrying like the Ark of the Covenant through the city, so everybody gets a chance to like bear witness to it.
Yeah.
And then the end of the destination is probably those black cliffs, to then like toss his body over the cliff. So that's the public information. If you wish to know more about where he is right now, that's the secret information that you'll have to pry out of him or someone else.
I'm just trying to think. He's a wizard. Does this guy know he's a wizard? Because if he does, I almost want to show him my glowing hands and just be like, I have dealings with this wizard. I am on myself.
That might be a route, yeah. Let's do it the same way as before then. Let's try and secure an advantage with your wits to see if you can get them to kind of be prominent and use that to make your compel better.
Okay.
So let's see about this. It's a good angle. I didn't think about that. That's an interesting way to do it. Okay. Hey, they get a strong hit on the, like, getting them to be more prominent. Like, they're glowing ever brighter. They look real important, like, as you take off your gloves or whatever.
You might see it as a religious sign.
Could be. So you'll get to either get 2 more momentum or get a +1 when you do this compel. Again, you're pretty good at compel since you'll be doing it with heart. I might recommend just getting that momentum higher up.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, and as always, I'm not saying that this is the guy to do it on, but just as a reminder to both of us, since we have 2 bonds open each, we can always just declare that a place or a person is one that we totally have a bond with, if we're interested in that being a turn of the story. As long as it's somebody we've never met before and haven't already established, like, you don't have a bond with them. But it's like you couldn't just be like, I have a bond with Muko. But any other random person that we encounter for the first time, if it's interesting, be like, I think it would be cool if I know this person. So yeah, you have your additional momentum. Let's do that compel roll to see if you can convince him to accept this and thus either, like, depending on the results of the roll, either get you escorted there, like if he really believes it and this is a big deal, then be like, oh shit, we need to get you there right away, or at least tell you where to go. So let's have you roll some heart.
Okay.
Another strong hit. There you go. Yeah, you didn't need the +1 on it.
Nice.
They'll do what you want or share what they know. Take +1 momentum. If you use this to gather information, you can make that with a +1. I guess if it were an opportunity, I think that it would have been like they just escort you right there. But I think it's indeed more just like you've convinced him that you've like gotten some wiggle room there because he does believe like, oh shit, yeah, you're an important magical person. Like maybe like, he's teetering. You still got to do the official gather information roll to get him to spill the beans on exactly where.
Okay.
Largely just because the roll is less about whether or not he tells you and more about whether that information is good or bad. But you got a lot of momentum. You got a +1 on this, so one more gather information to get him to tell you where to go to find Muko. And if this pulls off, I think that's definitely another progress on helping Chandra find Muko.
I could just be like, these are desperate times. The obelisks are glowing.
You like play into it.
Yeah. I must find the wizard.
Oh, but your challenge dice rolled really high. You just barely didn't get a weak hit. It was your total was an 8. You rolled an 8 and a 10. It's a fucking shame, but unfortunately, gather information is a miss. So like before, it's that your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. So, so again, it's the something about what he tells you is
maybe it's a bad thing that I showed my magic and I'm gonna get in trouble.
again, it's the information that's bad though. It's not the what you did. It's what you're told that is a unfortunate thing that just makes this more complicated and is,
Right. That's why I was thinking maybe he says something.
but that's not the information. That's the situation would be bad in that case, but that's not something that he tells you that like the answer to your question is just unwelcome and makes things worse. I was thinking along the lines of like he could be kept in a place where like he'll tell you where to go, but it being some kind of specifically holy ground, like the only people that are allowed in there, like there's some kind of faith test that happens for anybody that has to pass inside that that's probably pretty dangerous or something. And like those who pass can enter. Like it's you have to, and like to be a member of the cloth or whatever in there, they probably go through an even harsher weird test. But any outsiders who want to go in have to go through like the I want to get a good name for this, like the test of the blank. Rolling theme. The theme that I rolled on this is blood.
The blood test.
Yeah, you got to be A positive to get in here. You must go through the blood test, and it's indeed just like they prick your finger and they test it. Yeah, I think that there'd probably be like it somehow involves blood. It's some test of faith that involves your blood.
Maybe I have to drink someone's blood.
Oh, that could be cool. Yeah, there's probably like the blood of a fresh sacrifice or something.
Oh god.
Is like the only outsiders that are allowed in. They have to be blessed by, because they're a death cult. You have to be blessed by death to be able to be protected inside here from like
Mhm.
the yeah. So he tells you this sanctum where he's being kept, but it's in their holiest of holies, basically, like the inner he's being kept in the inner cathedral. But there's only one way that outsiders, even outsiders such as you with your magic, only one way that
Mhm.
you can be brought in. You must be protected from the tremendous holy aura in a cloak of death.
Oh.
The only way to receive this cloak of death is by drinking the blood of a sanctified sacrifice.
Oh.
Doing this in the witness of one of our priests will allow you to go inside. Otherwise, it is not safe for you.
Thank you, sir.
How long will you be in? How long do you plan to be in town?
Mm, I'm gonna say 3 weeks to be on the safe side.
And I think he's impressed enough with the magic stuff that like he'll write you some kind of like after giving a cursory examination to see you don't have any obvious signs of like sickness or something. Like it's not like a full doctor's exam, but like gives you a once over just visually. Um,
Mhm.
and then seeing your hands and being impressed by that, and that you have specific business here, uh, puts like an official seal on a how would they indicate like because they're probably not a huge population that's literate. I don't think it would be like written out like a form, but like some cool, interesting way that like um maybe it's like given their whole death thing, like maybe it's something that just like spoils or wilts, like will die in that time. Um, like
Mhm.
some flower or something that you're given and told to like it's like snipped. Um, so like, yeah, I really like that idea. So like goes to this place where there's like these beautiful flowers growing on the level of like clearly blooming with a weird kind of magic. Like they're being helped. Um, and snips it off so it's no longer growing, and tells you that this should that you will be allowed to walk within our walls until the petals have fully wilted. At that point, you must leave. It should last a few weeks, but as ever, only the gods know the exact time.
What happens if I'm still here when it's fully wilted?
You do not want that to be the case.
Uh, Thank you, sir. You've been most helpful.
Now, Grant, I think he like the you wouldn't want that to be the case is probably a little bit of a judgment as well of like you're an outsider, like you're clearly not part of this death religion. Like some people might like what would happen, you would not.
So we probably see people walking around with
Yeah,
with like a flower in hand, just
the
like or on their person
the
somehow.
outsiders anyway. Um,
Uh,
I think most of the people here are community members, and there might be some other way that they indicate. There's some more permanent form. It's like there's like something that they wear that has more permanency. Like it might even be just like a
Maybe like a tattoo or something that
yeah.
they get at a
Oh,
certain
that could be
age.
cool. Yeah, like yeah, I like that. Yeah, there's like it goes along the side of their neck or something. Um
Mhm.
there's just a there's a tattoo and maybe there's probably some cultural significance to like which side it's on. Like and what colors are used. Like there's all sorts of things that are indicated by what exactly the tattoo depicts and where it is. But it's generally along the sides of one side of the neck, and it indicates a citizen of some form or another. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the tattoo idea. And so yeah, if you don't have the tattoo, you have this flower that will last a certain amount of time.
So at least I know to talk to the tattooed people. They probably have more information than the flowered people.
Yeah. All right, so we're running out of time here, but I did mention you got through all of this and have a more specific idea of like where Muko is, what the time pressure is, and how to get to him. I mentioned before that felt like it would be worth a point of progress. So let's give you that. Boom. I need to make that a full. There we go. Full asterisk. Yeah, you're making some good progress on this. And as ever, like, this is what I like about setting them as high kind of like milestone numbers is like it's going to take so many twists and turns. Like we didn't know at all like what it would mean to find Muko, but like I really like where this is winding up. Like this is a cool place.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Honestly, I think the last thing that we should do, I think this is a big enough place that getting to the location with like navigating the districts and everything in this unfamiliar place, I think that's a journey. It's not in the wilderness, but I think this is a troublesome journey. So it won't take long.
Yeah,
but
I
like
think I ask around. And...
But like things could happen along the way because there's just so many people here and so many places to go. Like it's
true.
It's easy to get lost here. And you're probably way more familiar with navigating in the wilds than in a like urban setting like this. And this is the closest we could ever come in this world to like truly an urban place. So I want to make this a journey, not a long one, but the journey to get to the inner temple.
Sounds good.
Because I think you have been given enough information to know like generally you know where to go. It's just like, you know, you're a tourist who doesn't really know how to navigate efficiently. Even if you have been told like the address, you're just not great at it. Enough so that we should see how it goes. And I think we'll have enough time to probably wrap this up if we do it nice and quick. So, undertake a journey. You're traveling across hazardous or unfamiliar lands in this case. It's just troublesome. Let's roll a wits on this. Strong hit. Off to a good start. You get 3 progress right there. Boom, boom, boom. And if you want to take a momentum loss... Or, sorry, no, it's the other way. If you want to suffer -1 supply, you can get 1 momentum out of this, but... because you're just going so quickly. But your supply is... That would bring you back down to out of supply, so I wouldn't recommend it.
It's okay if I suffer 1 momentum.
Oh, you don't even have to. I was wrong about which way it was. You got a strong hit. You just get the progress.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, you make your way through a district. Like there's probably a lot of like mercantile stuff in the beginning because it's because indeed if there are tourists to this town, outsiders are going to pass through here first. So this is where everybody sets up their shop. There's like a big bazaar with a lot of tents and cramped stalls to have to get through. Everybody like there's so many sights and sounds and smells as they probably. It's probably not so much the, like, Aladdin style, like, sugar dates and figs, because these people are too grim for that. But, like, but just, like, lots and lots of tents set up and aromas. Like, there's probably a lot of incense here, and it's a lot to get through, because even locals probably come here every once in a while to get just all sorts of stuff. So there's a big crowd to get through, but you manage through without getting too distracted. Let's get the next waypoint. See.
Maybe lots of prayer groups.
Yeah, could be.
Out on the street.
Another strong hit. Sweet. You get 3 more progress. Doing really great. Again, maybe this next district that you're in is like... What do you think? What would be a new kind of, what part of town should this be? Something different. So we had like kind of mercantile. Um, it could
Maybe
be.
it's
Oh, sorry.
herbs and such.
Oh, more like kind of like a garden type of area where like
Yeah.
yeah, like there's like a park or something in this place, which is wholly unheard of within the walls of any city, any place you've ever been to have like green space. Like
Well, it's still gonna be kind of wintry too, so
that's who,
I'd
yeah.
imagine.
Maybe there's indeed people here that are doing like some amount of like religious iconography ice sculptures and stuff like um
Mm.
while they've been blessed with this cold winter, they kind of there's like a person there carving it into like a statue of like some particular figure that you wouldn't recognize. But it's like in
Mm.
progress as you pass through here, and like just seeing all these cool weird things. But not getting, but you're on track. You're not getting thrown off by them, and nobody's like interrupting you. You've clearly got a purpose in your gait. Let's see. I would recommend one more, and then we'll see if you get there just fine. But you get a miss. So eventually, it sounds like you probably take like get a little bit of a wrong turn or something and wind up. Yeah, you're waylaid by a perilous event. So it could be that you wind up in a. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Especially because we're out of time here. This is what the perilous event is. Okay, so you're wandering through. You clearly look out of place, like you don't know what you're going. And you know how like in New York, like those are the easy marks. Like you don't want to look like you have no idea where you're going.
Mhm.
In any big city. I don't mean to crap on New York specifically. I think what happens right before we end the episode is some like equivalent of like a street urchin, like some small child or like somebody who dwells on the streets runs past and snatches your flower and runs off, and like you'll have to like chase after him to get it back because you are now flowerless and tattooless in the middle of this city.
Oh shit.
And we're gonna end there tonight.
Damn it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a real interesting one because like we just like the last thing we heard was like you're not gonna want to be flowerless, or you don't want to be here after it's done drooping, and presumably being here without the flower would be also a big problem.
Yes.
So like when we go back in next time, I don't think they'll be so far away that you can't catch up to them, but some person has stolen your pass in the city basically and is running through the crowd, and you have to try and get it.
Damn kids.
Yeah, so that's where we'll start next time. So thank you again for watching episode 11. We have now officially surpassed the last campaign of Ironsworn I did, which was only 10 episodes. We made a lot of progress.
Milestone.
I know. We made a lot of progress on finding Muko and like getting you a bond and everything. And presumably, since we're in a town that may well deal with this stuff. Actually, yeah, before we go, I think because we talked about how this town very well could know a thing or two about death and the beyond, I think that is one progress on my I will find a new body and rejoin the physical world, because you're in a place where you've got both Muko and them. It's something. We're getting there.
I think it's gonna happen here.
I think so. So I'm gonna put the one progress on that vow to myself to get a goddamn body, because this seems related enough to be worth that. But anyway, back to the outro screen. Thank you for being here. For any who are here live, if you were not, if you didn't catch the whole thing and you want to see what happened, these all go on YouTube. It'll be up tomorrow night. And of course, if you want to be here live, we film all of these. We record all of these on Tuesday nights. I think I could probably regularly do this like 7 p.m. as opposed to 8 p.m. How did you like it?
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would actually be really helpful if you can.
So why don't we... Yeah, I know we've always been talking about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I think let's finally make these 7 p.m. I think I should be able to regularly hit that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bump it back that 1 hour so that we can end a little bit earlier for those of you on the East Coast. So yeah, we'll be doing that next Tuesday. That should be February 4th. So
Mhm.
yeah, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time, we'll have another episode. And otherwise, let's sign out. So I know you can't see her, but we are joined by Blinkin' Firefly. Tell us about your
Hello.
channel.
My channel, if you want to check it out, is full of singing and lullabies, piano, ukulele. Come check it out. It'll be fun. I don't know when I'm streaming next, but follow me anyway.
And I, of course, stream other stuff here at Midnight Jester 8. I will hopefully have our technical difficulties solved for next time, because, again, all we can get is black screen right now. I'm going to try and solve that tonight. See what's going on, because I don't want to forget. But I hope to see you here next time. The story is taking some interesting turns. I love this town of Black Falls, and I want to do all sorts of cool
really
stuff
cool.
here. I love just every little cultural element we've been adding to it already, with like the, the ways they indicate that you're allowed to be here, and what's in this, all their rituals. It's a weird, cool place.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can catch this every Tuesday here on Midnight Jester 8. I also do cello streams 5 to 9 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday nights. And yeah, otherwise, hope you have a good night. I will see you all around. Goodbye.
Bye.